All right, guys, today I am with John and Joe Mabry of the Saddle Cartel. We're up here in an undisclosed location at the West Virginia line, and we're at, 3,000 feet?
About 3,500.
And I'm out of breath from setup. I came from 35 feet. How y'all doing?
Good, bro. Yeah.
Good. Yeah, we met at, Tudor's Breakfast.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, had a big old biscuit and some eggs and
Big cat head biscuit.
is that what you call them?
Yeah,
Cat
we
head
call them
biscuit?
cat heads.
Yeah. So what we're going to talk about is the Saddle Cartel, it's a Facebook group, YouTube channel, and do y'all have Instagram?
We do. We have an Instagram.
Okay,
Yep.
Instagram, and then we're going to talk about some of the things that they do. One very important one, and one that's coming up here in about a week, is Men's Mental Health Awareness for the month of June. Last year they did it, had a great turnout. It was really good. How much did y'all end up raising?
We raised a little over $5,000 last year.
And that was for?
That was for the Mighty Oaks Foundation.
And they do what?
So they are a veteran-based group that raises money and takes veterans and first responders on different hunts. And it's, leaning towards men's mental health, just giving them awareness, offering some counseling services and things like that. So really good organization founded by a Green Beret. And this year is not that Mighty Oaks is not deserving, but we've chosen a new group called the Fallen Outdoors, who basically do the same thing.
What's good to kind of, spread the love a little bit.
It is, yep. And I've already got a group in line for a different group for next year that we're looking at. So,
oh, really?
Yeah,
okay.
absolutely.
So last year, 5,000, and how many sponsors?
Oh gosh, it was
a lot.
nearly 20.
And this year we're up to
we're over 20 again this year.
nice. There's some big names too. Some which offer the same products as the others, competitors, but at this point, that's not what it's about. We're just grateful that everybody's is able to, give some of their product, their time, and everything like that to help out.
Yeah, we are completely humbled at the donors and the companies that got behind this. It got so much bigger this year that we had to extend it a week. So there's 5 Sundays in the month of June this week, and we're doing a drawing every Sunday. So 5 weeks of drawings, and then to finalize everything, we've got a custom saddle and a custom Osage self bow built by Trey Baxter, and some other stuff to go. That'll be an auction only.
Okay.
So we'll accept bids on that, but the other stuff is raffled.
And now Trey, in case y'all didn't know, y'all are admins of the group.
Mm-hmm.
Trey is an admin. Y'all have some others that are spread out. One's in Indiana.
So you got Trey and Cash and Marcus out in Oklahoma.
Right.
Joe and I here, West Virginia. We've got Lance down in Georgia. We've got Chris up in New Hampshire. And we got SecDef, also known as Trevor, out in the state of Washington.
Yeah, or SecDef. For the longest time, I was like, is that okay?
Yeah. Have I missed anybody?
No, I think we got everybody.
Should be everybody. Sorry if I missed anybody.
No, that's fine. And we'll get back to the men's mental health, but basically the cartel, the Saddle Cartel, that Facebook group, if any of y'all are in any current hunting Facebook groups, it can be a very informative place. It can also be a very rough place. Like, the hunting community as hunters, it was like a brotherhood. But, man, and I've mentioned this on other podcasts, we're real quick to eat our own. And it's just kind of like, some of those other groups, I'm not going to name any names, it's just like, what? What is this? And I tell people, I'm like, if you join any, you need to join the Saddle Cartel, because not only is it educational, but it's more than just a hunting group. Last year during Men's Mental Health Month, we had people posting videos about their struggle, what they were going through,
Yes.
and then that prompted other people, and there's just a lot of vulnerability, and it was great. It really was.
Yeah, and I think as men, especially until these times, it's been a really, what's the word I'm looking for? Not been acceptable for a man to show any kind of weakness or any kind of vulnerability. Men have always supposed to be these stoic characters that are not supposed to be, fallible whatsoever. So for men that do struggle, with internal demons, it is okay to ask for help, and it's okay to show that little bit of weakness, because to me, being brave is to say, I need help.
Oh, yeah. And, and a lot of people think, okay, men's mental health, what is that? Okay, well, that could be PTSD. Well, a lot of people associate PTSD with people who saw war or something, but that can, any traumatic experience can cause PTSD. Being in law enforcement, my law enforcement career, stuff from your childhood, the death
Absolutely.
of somebody. I mean, it's such a big umbrella and so many things it covers. I mean, the stories that we had were so varied. But it's kind of interesting because, whatever that catalyst is that caused that mental health problem, if you will, is different for everybody. But a lot of times the recovery and how you deal with it is pretty universal. Talking to people, finding somebody you can confide in. And my daughter died to be 2 years ago in August. I was noticing other people in the community who lost a small child. My wife would go to her group. A woman, they'll create a group for anything, right? Just an excuse to get together.
Sure.
Well, so she was going to this woman's group, and she was coming back, and I said, well, how'd it go? And she was like, well, it went great. And that she would tell me the stories that these other ladies would tell about their husband. Well, he's not dealing with it. Well, he's starting to drink. Our relationship's on the rocks. He's bad to our other kids. And same thing. Oh, I got to be strong for my family. Well, if you don't work on yourself and get yourself right, you can't be the strongest, best version for those that you love.
100%.
And if you don't deal with it, it will resurface in some form or fashion.
You can't bottle this stuff up. You have to find a release for it. You have to find a way to release that weight. Because if you attempt to carry that weight around, it will eventually just break you down.
It will. And like I said, so many people associate it with veterans. That's probably the largest demographic because we have so many service men and women. But I think there's been a lot more awareness. And, you're right, it's taboo or whatever it is. So, oh, man, I can't cry. I can't bottle those emotions.
Yeah.
And, that causes stress, and that's a big silent killer.
Oh, it is. I mean, you would be amazed at the amount of men that suffer from anxiety and depression and, PTSD that never say a word about it. And it's almost like if you know what you're looking for, you can kind of see it in their face,
Yeah.
So, when we started this, I think our intention was just to bring some awareness, to show people it's okay to be vulnerable, and to give back, just to do something, beyond ourselves, just a way to touch somebody's life, And if it helps somebody down the road, then I think the Lord's blessed us with the opportunity to do that.
I mean, yeah, it's like almost like a support group that just happens to saddle hunt.
Yeah.
We may kill something along the way.
Yeah, absolutely. The Saddle Cartel was founded by Trey Baxter back in 2020, and eventually as it grew and got bigger, I was able to establish a friendship with Trey, and he asked me to come on and help him administer the page. And as we kept getting bigger and kept getting more members, we brought other team members on, like my brother and the other guys we mentioned. And our intent is not just to be a solely focused group of saddle hunters. It's to bring education, awareness, to show community, show positivity, to eliminate negativity, and, just give back in whatever way we can.
And I tell people, when you say limit negativity, I mean, it doesn't take much to get kicked out of the cartel group. You start talking some crap, hating and not being supportive.
So we have zero tolerance for that.
And a lot of Facebook groups say zero tolerance, but they don't.
No, we're going to stick by that because there's enough negativity in this world and in this country that we don't, we want to establish this community to show people it's okay whether if you're just getting into saddle hunting or if you've been saddle hunting for 15, 20 years. There's no dumb questions. We will help you find the answer if we don't know the answer. And if you're a company such as Ape Canyon or whoever that helps support us and you put out good products, good safe stuff, we're going to stand behind you and help you promote that product.
Well, speaking of product, I mean, Big Shot Targets, they bought out
McKenzie,
Delta McKenzie, right? Yep. And I mean, y'all have, what was it, last month or the month before? Y'all had a whole month of just
Target Tuesdays.
And then every week, somebody would win a full-on that big 3D buck, right?
Yeah. Well,
it was a different target every week.
It was different? Okay.
Yeah, we had coyotes mixed in there. I can't remember.
Last one was a panther or mountain lion.
Yeah, panther or mountain lion. And so Big Shot offered us a discount, and what we would do is every Tuesday allow so many people to submit, whether it's $10 or $20 and take a group of 10 to 15 people, raffle that off, and then for 10 or 15 bucks, you have a chance to win a $300 and some dollar.
And then y'all kind of recoup y'all's costs too, right?
Yeah, so the discount kind of recoups that.
Yeah.
And so it helps Big Shot, Delta McKenzie out, and it also helps put a nice 3D target in the hands of one of our members. So.
And y'all, it was Hunter with Big Shot, right? What was that? Was that his name?
I can't remember. I know this is something Trey.
I think it was because I met him up at ATA.
Okay.
And we were talking about because I think I texted y'all, said, hey, is anybody here you want me to go say hey to? And
Yeah.
that was one. They were there, and that's
Okay.
that's another family centered business as well.
Yeah, they're great people.
And y'all have a theme. Y'all have a theme just about every month, except for when hunting season ends, because everybody's kind of
So through the winter times, after the seasons kind of wrap up, the first thing we step into is March Madness, where we were just trying to get people back outside shooting their bows, whether that's a traditional or a compound. So we'll hold like a March Madness tournament, and it's basically just get out and be creative, with some shots with your compound or traditional bow. It just gets people outside again, get some, back in that groove, and then we'll move out of March Madness into Men's Mental Health, which is usually the month of June, and that keeps people engaged. And then we get all these companies, donating all these wonderful products, and that just, that feeds back into the mental health program. And then we turn towards the hunting season, and then once folks in the group start making their harvest, we do a podcast with them. And we just highlight members and get their stories out there and put them on our podcast. So kind of year round, we've got something going on to keep people engaged.
And I think that's good because I know, especially talking about harvest, this is one thing that really irks me in some of these Facebook groups. And I don't blame the people and the reason they do it, but you'll see if they're not posting anonymously, they'll preface it with, well, he's not the biggest deer.
Yeah.
And, it was the last day of the season. I mean, dude, and they're doing that because they're so used to getting, janked on or whatever about it. And that I'm like, you're just taken away from it, dude. Yeah. We had a lady on who shot her first doe with a crossbow at Iowa, and just doe. But man, her story behind it, was great. And that's what kind of what y'all do too. I mean, 95% of the people are out there trying to do what they can when they can, and not everybody's killing 150 plus.
No,
celebrate your wins regardless.
Yeah, absolutely. I tell a story a lot. I started bow hunting at 15 years old, and I was 20 or 21 before I ever took my first deer, and the first was a doe, and it was like I was on top of the world. It was the best feeling to finally make that happen. So, we get behind folks, whether it's a doe, a spike, a 4-point, or a 180. We want to celebrate that with you. We want to show you that it is, every harvest is an awesome harvest. There's nothing to be ashamed of. Killing any animal or harvesting any animal with a bow is a feat upon itself.
Oh, yeah.
So, celebrate that. And we're not going to tolerate anybody that does not celebrate that with us. So
especially pigs, because Trey's out there slaughtering with that traditional bow.
Gosh, I know it, man.
Huh?
He's covered up in hogs, too.
Is he?
Is. Oh, yeah, there's hogs everywhere.
I know a guy down in Alabama who will travel to help, with those extermination services.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, might be able to make a phone call for you.
You help me out?
Yeah. And if you want to kill a bear, come on up here. We got plenty of bears.
Oh,
so interesting. They took me to the little lookout point. What was it called?
East River Mountain Overlook.
Yeah, and he was able to show me all the mountains, some of the bald faces, I guess, of the mountain where they had done some mining for coal. Mm-hmm. And he was like, oh, yeah, over there, that's where we chased that bear. That's where we did this. And I mean, and I'm down in Alabama. It's flat where I'm at. And like I said, I started looking at those hills when I was riding in. I was like getting calf burn. I was like, yeah. I mean, I already got winded trying to do this setup. So,
it's a different animal. It really is.
So, y'all do a lot of reviews.
We do, yeah.
You started out on the Facebook page, then you started doing it on the YouTube channel. I mean, y'all have sat in how many different saddles? How much different gear do y'all? I mean,
golly,
a lot.
We're fortunate in the fact that a lot of companies get behind us and send us stuff to review and to test out. So, yeah, we get to play with a lot of cool equipment, and we're blessed to have that support and just that trust behind these companies to look at this stuff and play with it and tell folks, honest opinions about it. So, yeah. So we've had some great experiences with the stuff we've gotten from Ape Canyon as well. I mean, I set the wood saddle this past season, and that thing is phenomenal. It is such a comfortable saddle.
Did you use the back band with it or no?
I've never used a back band. Did not need one. And I found that thing to be super comfortable. And I'm actually going to pass it off to Joe. He's going to wear it this season. Yeah. He was in something different last season. So, we're fortunate in the fact that we do get to try it a lot.
And y'all, I mean, you're trying out one company's, you're trying out another, and SecDef and some of them, they're trying it. And I think that's good because, everybody's different. And no company expects to have 100% of the market share.
Yeah.
And just like, the wood saddle versus the Land Baron. The Land Baron's less expensive because it doesn't take as much labor and material to make it because it doesn't have the pleat.
Yeah.
But to me, my little dumpy self, you see what I look like, that one's more comfortable for my body type than the Woods Deluxe. But now the Woods Deluxe is still very comfortable. But, all day sits, the Land Baron's my go-to.
Yeah.
But you may have somebody else, something may fit different. And I think being able to bring all that helps everybody make a good, informed, educated decision, because when you talk about mobile hunting, a lot of times you're piecemealing. I like this saddle, but the dump pouch is from here for some reason, or this. And so I think that's good that y'all are able to do that.
That's the thing I love about saddle hunting and mobile hunting is you can piece things together. You don't have to stick strictly to a company or what they offer. You can put things together and make it custom to you. And there's, like you said, there's so many different body types and positions that people like to be in. So what works for me may not work for you or may not work for him. You may find something that you like better or he likes better. And that's the great thing about it is there's a lot of great products out there, a lot of good built, safe stuff, and you don't have to handcuff yourself to one thing.
Right. And kind of leading into another question I have for you guys is, I see a lot of people that go, well, I tried saddle hunting. I didn't like it. It didn't work. And then you dig a little deeper and maybe they only tried it one time for 45 minutes.
Yeah.
And you're kind of like, oh man, just give it a little bit more.
They could have been in a saddle that was too big for them or too small, and it didn't fit right, and they just didn't know how to adjust it.
Right.
Or they may have had their tether height set wrong, and it just pinched their hips the wrong way.
And they were like, oh, if this how it feels after 10 minutes, imagine 3 hours.
Yeah.
When maybe you should have done a few small, that angle, which you got your tether and everything. And it can be difficult when a lot of places aren't carrying saddles in retail yet. I mean, it's happening. And unless you go to an expo and try one on, you're pretty much taking the word of somebody in the group.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, most of the people, I guess you could send it back, but it's, it's one of those things. Well, I hope this works. But
and I think that's where people will make a mistake is they buy the stuff and instantly think they can go hunting in it. You have to spend some time practicing, learning a routine, how to ascend and descend trees, and playing with your adjustments to find out your sweet spots and these stuff. You can't just buy it and it's next day you can be in. You can, but you're not going to find that comfort you're looking for. You've got to take some time and actually learn the system.
And if you're like me, I have a lot of what we call GAS, gear acquisition syndrome. I just like to buy stuff. And when
You're a nerd.
my wife, I got so much stuff. When I first started saddle hunting, I got the kit from this company, and I had all these intentions. And I said, man, I watched enough YouTube videos. My first true sit in the saddle was when I went hunting on a WMA outside of Montgomery, and it was horrible.
Was it really?
It was, when I finally got up, I had maybe 45 minutes of daylight, and I said, ain't nothing coming around. But I've already done this much work. I'm going to at least sit here.
Right.
And that's a first-hand mistake, and you got to play with it. And so that way you can just, if you want it to be right, if you want to be fast, effective, and mobile, you got to put a little bit of practice in.
It's not instant. You've got to put some time into it and learn what works for you.
So if each one of you had a recommendation for somebody thinking about it, getting into saddle hunting, what would you recommend?
I would recommend find somebody that you know that's already into it. Ask to borrow their equipment. Ask them to show you how they do it, and just spend some time in it. Take an hour, 2 hours, and shoot your bow out of it. Learn, the different angles and everything like that. Don't rush into it. Seek somebody out. Go to those mobile hunter expos. I mean, they have a lot of opportunities to try a lot of stuff out. I mean, there's a lot of opportunities to get, and something we're doing at the Saddle Cartel is we're passing around buzzard roost saddles right now to members. You can get on a list and try out a buzzard roost for a week or 2 weeks at a time, and all you have to do is just forward it to the next person in the line. Pay for the shipping. So Buzzard Roost does a great job of supporting us by lending us some saddles to ship out to our members. They can sit in it, try it for themselves, and then they can determine whether they like it or not.
Right.
So,
and that's important.
Absolutely.
I mean, really, if you're going to invest, that kind of, time and a little bit of money, I guess, it's worth, paying a little bit for shipping just to try it. Try before you buy type thing.
And, the thing I've noticed about saddle equipment, yes, it is an investment initially, but this stuff will last you for a long, long time. It's not like you're buying this recurring cost every year. This stuff will last you for a series of years as long as you take care of it. And the good thing is, once you've bought it, it's buy once, cry once, right? Mm-hmm. You've got it in your hand, and you don't have to worry about leaving it in the woods like a tree stand where it has the potential to be stolen.
I don't even own a tree stand.
Yeah, it comes in with you and goes out with you. So you're mobile and it's secure. man, there's so many advantages of saddle hunting that I've just fell in love with, and I've told everybody I wish I had this 30 years ago.
Oh yeah,
I do.
oh yeah. And talking about lasting for a long time, for however long, depending on how much you use it. But I would encourage those guys to inspect that thing.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, when you've seen the ladder stands, you got the ratchet straps.
Yep.
Every work day before the season, you go up and you're checking the straps and now it sits outside. If you want to inspect your gear like anything else,
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, the ropes, ropes will get worn. I mean, the more you use it, the more wear you're going to put on it. But those things are replaceable, But like the chassis of the saddles and the saddlebags and the sticks, as long as you're keeping your wearable items, replaced when necessary, I mean, those are small cost in comparison to buying everything brand new over again.
Yep, definitely. All right, so before we sign off, I just wanted to mention again about Men's Mental Health Awareness. And the date of this recording is the 24th of May. And you're going to be doing something tonight. You're going to go ahead and launch something. Is that right?
Yep. So this afternoon we'll be launching week one. In week one, we're giving away that grit package from Tethered, Genesis 3D hip pinch eliminator and gear strap. We're giving away a custom set of bowstrings from Drawn Archery and a skinning knife. So a great package to start week one. Basically, in this package, all you're going to need after that is a way to get up and down the tree, and you can be hunting this week. So yeah, today launches Men's Mental Health Awareness, and we're kicking it off. And then Joe wanted to touch on something else about the T-shirts we're doing.
Yeah, we also got the pre-sale of every year we create a T-shirt that shows all the sponsorships that we get from Miz Mental Health, and I think tomorrow's the last day to pre-order those T-shirts, and they should be shipping out June 1st.
So yeah, we'll put all the links down in the description to the Facebook page and everything. And I mean, you've got a Cartel shirt, you've got a Cartel hat.
Yeah.
I've got a sub 20 shirt. Which did I tell you all the story behind that?
Okay,
so they've got this shirt. It says sub 20, and the design on the back is jam up, man. It's like I was getting the because you can get a shirt that has the outline of your state, and then it has the guy on a saddle drawing.
Yep.
And I was like, oh, from Alabama. I was looking around. I said sub 20. I'm like, I've killed a lot of deer under 20 yards. That's got to be what that means. So I bought one. I haven't worn it yet. And then I think it was one of y'all that told me, or I was in the group. I said, and this is how the group is. I wasn't not scared to ask. I'm like, hey guys, I bought this sub 20 shirt. What does that mean? Oh, when you take your first
Traditional
deer, your first traditional shot at a deer and kill it under 20 yards. I'm like, At the time, my traditional bow wasn't even finished being built yet.
Oh yeah.
So it's still sitting there folded up. Moss probably got to it, but
I've got a trad bow now, but I still don't know if I'm confident enough to take that thing in the woods yet, man. It's freezing.
I'm not even confident to pick it up. Man,
it's fun to play with in the yard, but I don't believe in myself enough to take it to the woods.
It's a confidence thing, I imagine. And, of course, accuracy.
You got to spend a lot of time behind those things and really learn the routine of it, I think, to be efficient as a hunter with it.
Good deal. All right, guys, that wraps it up. Joe, John, hey, I appreciate it.
Yes,
Thanks
sir.
for coming on.
Appreciate you
and you
coming
guys go check them out at saddlecartel.com and on their Facebook page and YouTube channel. Links will be in the description. Hit like and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.